What's going on, everyone? Your favorite jealous hater is back with some more beef. So I really wasn't planning on making another video on Colleen Ballinger again. There's just no way I have the will to sit through any of her cringy and extremely unfunny content. I even question how an embryo would even find her remotely funny. I don't know. There's just something about how building your entire fortune off the back of a character with mental disabilities that just doesn't sit right with me. Anyways, today I'm not really here to bash her shit content or her as a person. Oh wait, I am. Now what I've noticed from all these influencers or content creators is that they all think the same. They have the same mentality where 2020 was just the worst year ever. Even though all of them had it super fucking easy compared to the rest of us. Their financial and job security was never at risk at all. In fact, a lot of these fucks made more money in 2020 because everyone was stuck at home watching their YouTube videos. The only reason why 2020 was so bad for them was because they couldn't travel and were stuck at home like the rest of us peasants. Shit, Jess fam was just bitching on her Instagram about how she wasn't in Hawaii for New Year's.
May this year be way fucking better than the last.
Even though 2020 was her best year in growth on YouTube. She had free all-inclusive trips to Disney and even moved into a brand new home that she had custom built. I failed to see how
2020 was a bad year for her.
But this is not about my favorite firecrots, it's about Colleen, who basically pulled the same doo-doo in a new vlog called My Best and Worst Moments of 2020, where she goes on about basically how 2020 for her was pretty damn baller in my opinion. But I guess because she didn't go to Italy for a 3-week staycation, it was a poopy year. Okay, let's personally shave a wabbit.
It's a new year. Hey everyone. Usually at the end of the year, I post a video like recapping the year, but this year I was so overwhelmed with the New Year's Eve concert and Christmas and everything going on that I just didn't have time to do it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip past all the I was too busy crap. It's a recap video. You're not building a damn skyscraper.
So I was just kind of sitting and reflecting on like what my year was like.
Like, oh my god, I bet it was so fucking horrible.
And it's crazy, this stuff that I was able to experience even though this year was so tragic.
Just because the year was tragic for some doesn't mean it was tragic for all. To be honest, 2020 has been the best year of my life and I still have lots of things that need to be handled. But if someone like me in my position in life had a good year with all that went on, imagine how great of a year it must have been for a fucking YouTuber like Colleen. She didn't lose her job. She didn't lose her home. She didn't have to worry about if there was going to be food on the table or whether or not she'd be able to wipe her own ass. She didn't have to deal with a lot of the things us normies had to deal with. She probably pulled a Damien and Bianca and bought all the damn baby formula and toilet paper. During this time, during 2020, Colleen was sitting real pretty in her fat ass home, stacks of cash with little to no worries in the world, aside from not being able to perform her shit Miranda Sings routine for a bunch of fetuses.
And by I mean this year, I mean last year, 2020, not 2021.
Oh well, gee whiz, thanks for clarifying.
Oh god, I hope 2021 is better.
She says this, but is about to list off all the fun shit she did throughout the year, when most people couldn't find food to feed their babies.
But gosh, I hope 2021 is just better.
I started off the year in Hawaii with my family. I took my whole family to Hawaii in January. It was so much fun.
Didn't she just say that she hopes this year will be better than the last? But is now showing us that she started 2020 off in Hawaii. Okay.
It was like such a wonderful experience and I'm so grateful I got to do that at the beginning of the year. My entire family went.
Oh well, that's good to hear.
While other people ended up watching their family members die off in the windows of retirement homes or just left alone to die in general, I'm sure glad Colleen started off 2020 with a big bang in Hawaii with her family.
So much fun and memories.
And then I got to tour. Did a bunch of tour dates at the beginning of the year. I got to perform. I got to go to Orlando to perform, but also I got to go to Disney World with my baby, which was crazy, and my family.
And yet another vacation with her family. That probably ended up being free and all-inclusive, based from a sponsorship. Probably vlogged it too, making money off of free shit.
Worst year ever.
We went to Nashville. I went to so many fun places. Look at that. I can't believe that was 2020.
Oh my god, guys, I went to Disneyland, Hawaii, and all these other fun places. I can't believe I did all that in 2020, a very tragic year for most, except me.
She goes on and on about how she continued to make money while everyone else was losing their jobs, and something about quarantine being weird, even though all she did was spend more time together with her family. Watching her son grow, talks about how they had Easter inside the house, but this obviously was a personal choice and not based from quarantine. Just because you can't travel doesn't mean you can't go outside in your yard. However, she did mention one thing that wasn't all that great. Her grandmother passed, which sucks. I'm not really sure how, but aside from all that, her years seem pretty fucking good if you ask me, especially if you compare it to a lot of other people. Now, I really don't feel like breaking down all the fun times Colleen had in 2020, so I'll just slap the rest in this clip.
You know, I learned so much, I grew so much, did those Bob Ross paintings. We got to hang with some family. We did 2 Christmases. I went camping. We had a fun Hawaiian party day. We did a whole RV trip where we went to the beach and the mountains and the woods. Went to the beach. It was so fun. We did the photo shoot for the podcast. I got to do Rocky Horror Picture Show with Tim Curry and so many incredible, amazing actors. This was such a cool experience. There's me and Tim Curry. I had a whole Disneyland day. This was one of my favorite days of 2020. I turned my entire house into Disneyland. And then for my birthday, we got to go to this awesome llama farm. It was one of the best birthdays I've ever had. I got to watch the sunrise with my kid every morning. And then I got to do my Christmas concert.
Sounds like 2020 was one of the best years of her life.
Was it the most full year of crazy projects and events and award shows and TV interviews and TV and movie appearances and books and all? No, it wasn't.
All the things she just named off literally mean nothing aside from making more money. In fact, from what it sounds like, because of the pandemic, she was forced to spend time away from award shows and TV appearances or whatever to be with her family. But even with all this, she still made money, a lot of money, by vlogging it all and doing all the things that she was forced to do with her family. So the fact that she calls 2020 a bad year at all is just bullshit.
But considering how horrible the year was, it was a really, really great year.
It wasn't horrible for her though. She's not even mentioning on why the year was bad aside from her grandma passing. She's just talking about all the fun shit she did while her community is stuck at home bored.
Hours and hours and hours of Zoom meet and greets, and almost every single one, someone was like, thank you for vlogging every day. It made me feel less alone during this crazy year. And
you know, one thing I never understood about vlogging, which I always found kind of really weird, is how the viewer can relate to the goons behind the camera, especially since almost 100% of the time the vloggers have no clue who you are. It's completely a one-sided relationship, and most of the time the communities get ignored. Colleen can go on and on about how much she appreciates her fans, but not that long ago she had some tween running her social medias, tweeting and replying to her community, pretending to be her. If she really cared about them, why does she need someone else to do what she says she cares about so much?
It was so crazy hearing that over and over again, because that's how I feel. Being able to talk to you like this every single day has made me feel less alone.
How in the hell does she feel alone? She has a whole ass family that she saw throughout 2020. Not to mention was able to go to plenty of places because she could afford it, while others didn't get to see their families or go anywhere. There seems to be this trend going around for all these influencers or creators where they tell you to stay at home and be safe and remain socially distant, while they do the exact opposite and live life like it's just another fucking day, while also still playing victim and leaning on the shoulders of the children that watch them, whose parents probably lost their job.
Yeah, I just wanted to say all of that. So I thank you so much. And 2020 was a weird year, but thanks to you guys and my family and Flynn, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
It wasn't bad for her. Most people didn't get to do or couldn't do all the things that she was able to do in 2020. Going to Hawaii, Disneyland, other places, other trips, having financial and job security. All in this crazy year is a fucking goddamn blessing. And even though she thanks her supporters, she still doesn't fully acknowledge her privilege. But Apoc sure does. Anyways, all you jealous haters, that's all the slaps I have for you today. Probably one of the best things I noticed from this video is that it's supposed to be the best and worst moments of 2020 for Colleen, and yet somehow she forgot to mention that she almost got canceled for stereotyping Latinas, purposely getting her dog put down, and sending a very, very young minor lingerie. In conclusion,
Context is everything.